like 15,000 years ago.
Okay. No,
Is that the time period we're talking about? Or are we talking about like 100,000, 200,000 years ago when like Homo sapiens first evolved?
We're talking like primal tribal spearmen, early adaptation of tribalistic society, that type of thing.
So that's what existed around Göbekli Tepe around 15,000 years ago.
Okay.
So like,
then I'm fine. Okay, so if we want to put it to a number, we can put it to a number. Then that's fine. So
because my curiosity then is, are these shamans representative? If they're representative of that period of time, you're saying that these shamans gathered together as one group and decided for one entity above humanity? Would this group of shamans have representatives of, like, let's just say the Yellow River civilization, the Indus Valley civilization, and the Mesopotamian civilizations, which would be the three primary that would be the Mesopotamian would be the Middle East, the Indus would be the India subcontinent, and the Yellow River would be the Asiatic, groups. So would all three of those groups be represented within that shamanistic congregation?
Trying to think here of how to kind of explain that.
Because I have a follow-up question after, depending on the answer to that.
Sure. So could you repeat that one more time? That was a lot to unpack.
So would this shamanistic cohort, if you would it include representation of shamans from the Mesopotamian civilizations, the Indus Valley civilizations, and the Yellow River civilizations, which would be the Mesopotamian would be Middle East, the Indus Valley would be the Indian subcontinent, and the Yellow River would be the Asiatic peoples. So would all three of those primary, those are three locations we know civilization started in, and so those are the earliest records we have of civilization in those areas, or date back to those societies. So would this shamanistic cohort have representation of shamans from all of those groups of people?
Okay. Trying to think here.
Because those are like three independent formations of civilization. They're not they're not interconnected otherwise. So
I don't know how to answer that. Which is the one that comes out of Mesopotamia, Middle?
That would be that would be the Mesopotamia, the Mesopotamic civilization. So you're looking at the Assyrians, the city of the Sumatra. The Sumas, so you would be looking at that group of people. The Indus Valley would be like the Indian subcontinent, so you're talking about the Machu Picchu, stuff like that. The Yellow River civilization would be what became Korea, China, Japan, and stuff like that.
Okay. I would say that.
Those are all, by the way, interconnected. You could walk from all of those locations to a central meeting point. That's why I'm asking, because those are capable of doing that, and so it would be possible for that to be the case. But I'm trying to ask if that is what the assumption there would be.
Okay. I would think it's. We're really getting bogged down here before we get to the lore. Or everything.
Yeah, no, this is Faith Breakers, man. I'm going to pin down, the lore isn't as important as the, in order for me to get to the lore, I have to see how the lore will match up to known information we know is true. Does that make sense?
Okay, so
because if I said contradictory things, so for example, if this group of shamanistic people came together only from the Mesopotamian groups and decided about this one shaman that should be ascended to godhood,
Okay.
okay, then I don't see what authority that person or sovereignty that person would have over the Indus Valley shamans or the Yellow River shamans. Not even to mention the Native American shamans or the South American shamanistic groups,
Okay.
because those groups all had similar mythical shamanistic people in their civilizations as well.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So,
So,
I wouldn't. So, if this person is truly a deity in the regards that you've described so far, then they would have sovereignty and authority over those groups as well. But if they didn't have representation at this conclave to begin with, then where does their authority come from for that? Does that make sense?
I think that you're getting very bogged down in the minutia and not allowing me to like kind of explain. We're getting very, very lost in the weeds. So let's cut the weeds down. Let's continue. I will explain. Let's go for the frame of reference based upon the text that was in Mesopotamia. Are we okay with that?
Okay.
All right, perfect. So eventually, these groups traded. These shamans did meet each other, and there was a consensus made between all of them that they needed to have a one true leader of mankind. So they all chose to sacrifice themselves to the greater good in the ethereal plane to converge into one entity, which then birthed what we know as the chosen one, or as he is known, the emperor. Now the text gets a little weary after this of that he has popped up as figures pretty much all throughout history. It is not, and the way in which that he works is that he can change himself or meld himself to be into any social construct that's currently going on, like the beginning of colonization in America, the rise of Great Britain, the rise of Rome, different different political figures throughout history. It is said that he has been in the background pulling the strings for humanity, waiting for the right time to come about. And the way the book explains it is that once the humanity hits a certain point, he will reveal himself, and he will right the wrongs of the righteous and unite humanity under one banner, essentially. Now, to talk about what you were talking about with the other shamans or people who have access to the ethereal plane, these people eventually they are called to him. They are called to the chosen one. He calls out to them through the plane, and they want to seek him. They want to find him. It's described in the text as like a yearning, that they yearn to be a part of something greater. So they must find him. And once they find him, they stick by him and prop him up and do all of these things within modern times, colonial times, and everything, and stay with him, and with that also gain the immortality that he has.
So, do we have any? So this, if you say he pulls the strings, as you are,
yes,
is there? Then there obviously is a bit of interaction within the natural world.
Yes, there is an interaction with the natural world. Absolutely.
So where is the evidence of this interaction?
That's the problem, is that because the emperor keeps himself so well hidden, the political figures in which that he is adapted to makes it a near impossibility to find him. That is the point, is that he is supposed to remain hidden via the text, and when humanity has hit their point, where they have finally decided to seek the stars, he will reveal himself.
So, but you said that the shaman are capable of interacting with the ethereal plane.
Yes.
Even though they are mere material men.
Yes, that's correct.
So my question is, where is, even if you can't find direct evidence of the Emperor's involvement in the natural world,
sure,
you should be able to, if something occurs in the natural world, regardless of what it is, it would leave evidence behind of the interaction. It may not leave evidence behind of what caused the interaction, but the actual interaction itself should have evidence of it. Where is the evidence of this interaction with the ethereal plane?
So what do you mean by the evidence of the interaction with the ethereal plane? You have to be a little bit more specific to that. Like, are you saying what action was done by this person that would be supernatural?
The shamans supposedly interact with the ethereal plane. That interaction with the ethereal plane, whether that be to heal somebody or whether that be to grow crops or whether that be to whatever, there should be evidence of the interaction with the ethereal plane left behind. And so I'm asking, where is the evidence of this interaction? Because I see none in anywhere in the natural world. I see no reason to believe that there is an interaction with an ethereal plane as you are describing.
Okay. So, all right, let me kind of give an example. Let me take a look here. Hold on. So the ethereal plane is something that so you're trying to disprove the ethereal plane, obviously. The problem is...
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to disprove anything.
Okay. You're trying to understand. Okay.
No, I'm trying to, I'm not the one making the positive claim. There is no burden of proof on me. I'm not trying to disprove or prove anything. I'm asking you that is making the positive claim that there is an interaction with the ethereal plane to provide the evidence for me to be convinced that there is an interaction with the ethereal plane.
Okay, so how are these shamans interacting with it? That's what you're asking then.
Well, how are they interacting with it, and how do I verify that they are?
Well, the problem, this is always the problem with religion in general. So, faith obviously is one thing, but then you could go back. Okay, that's fine. That's on you. I'm just saying.
No. Faith is okay. So since you brought it up, let's dive into that really quick. Is faith a reliable pathway to truth?
It depends on what your aspect of truth is.
Truth is that which comports to reality.
Okay. Why can't my reality be different than yours?
Because we all share one reality.
Yes, but things that I interact with in my reality may be very different than the way you interact with your reality, correct?
So that would not be a change. That would not be a difference in reality. That would be a difference in your perception of reality.
Okay. So then why can't your perception of reality be through faith?
Well, what I'm saying is that that faith is not a reliable pathway to truth.
Yes, but you said reliable. But what if my reliability is based upon that I believe in my heart that the Emperor is the one true faith and the leader of humanity? What if I believe that to be true? And then through that faith, I feel that he will give me the guiding light that when I walk through the ethereal plane, that I will not be torn apart by the negative energy and tons of monsters that live within there to kill me.
Well, so your belief in the fact that it's true does not negate the fact that it is true or that it is not true. So your belief in the fact that it is true does not make it true, and also does not make it not true. It does not affect the truth value. Your personal belief in it does not affect the truth value of it.
Yes, it does. For example, it's my truth, though, but it's my truth.
So, but you don't have your own reality.
You can't challenge my truth because this is what I believe. You can't challenge it.
To help the conversation, instead of saying my truth, you can say my opinion. That's more helpful.
Yeah,
I understand. I understand paradox. I get that, but it is my truth, though. It is what I believe.
Not your truth. You don't have your own truth. Truth is that which comports to reality. So in order for it to be true, it must comport to reality.
But
So
reality is perception, though. You said reality is perception.
No, I said your beliefs is your perception of reality. That, like, so for example, let me give you an example of this, okay? Like, gravity is the curvature of space-time. That is a true statement, okay? Prior to Einstein's theory of relativity, gravity was the curvature of space-time. But because nobody had perceived it that way before, their perception of reality was Newtonian. So, like, Newton thought of gravity as a force that pulled. It was a pulling force, okay? So, Newton's perception of reality was that gravity was a force. But the reality itself, the truth of reality, was always that gravity was the curvature of space-time. So, what you're saying is you have a belief in what gravity is, but that doesn't mean that what you believe gravity is actually what gravity is. So you don't have your own truth, you have your own belief. Okay? Mm-hmm. So truth is that which comports to reality. So if what you're saying, even though you believe it, does not comport to reality, then it's not your own truth, it is your own belief. So there are people out there who, for example, believe that Donald Trump won the 2020 election and that it was stolen. But that is not true. Their perception of reality says that it is, but that does not comport to actual reality. So, like, you can't have your own truth. You don't get your own facts. You can have your own opinion, but you can't have your own truth.
Okay, I see. All right. Well, okay. I will concede on that factor. That's fine. Okay. We're going tit for tat with that. Okay.
I'm trying to be very, like, I hope you feel like I'm being very respectful. I'm not trying to, like...
No, you're absolutely being fantastic. It's no problem. But the back to what I was saying, my opinion, or from what Paradox was saying. So let's use the word
I would say a better way to put it is not your opinion, but your belief.
My belief.
Your belief.
Or perception. Is that better?
Well, I would say belief. Belief is better. Because belief would include, belief is what you think based upon your perception.
So my belief is that when the God Emperor sits upon his throne, that he is our guiding light that will be there for us to watch and actually traverse the ethereal plane. Through the navigator's third eye, he will be able to traverse through what we like to call, I wouldn't say it would be called a webway, but like an opening.
Just out of curiosity, are you getting ready to get into warp travel?
Kind of. It's not so much warp travel. It's you're familiar with Dune, correct?
Well, I'm very familiar with 40K.
You are familiar with 40K?
Yeah. No, I know where you're going the whole time.
Oh, damn it! The jig's up, the Djinn. He found it. Unfortunate.
I mean, you were doing a really good job of trying to be as vague as possible, and I grant you that. I got it right off the bat.
Oh.
Okay? But, like, it wasn't until you said the Rebway that I just had to stop.
The jig's up. Oh, well. We got where we needed to get to. We almost got there. We were about to read off to you. We read off the Primarchs of Fulgrim, Pertudo, Jagus Khan, Lehman Ross.
I as soon as you said the lexicon, I knew what you were talking about.
Oh, the jig's up.
But I was like, okay, I'll let him go. I'll let him cook. I'll see how he does this. Because, hey, man, props to you for being very good about presenting this in a serious fashion.
We almost got there. That's very unfortunate. It was a good ride, though. Usually people, it takes them far longer, and they start getting very angry.
No, I don't.
They start getting very...
I'm sorry. I enjoy Corvo is the owner of this room, and this is his concept. I thoroughly enjoy critically analyzing people's thought patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm very much a fan of, like, of just, you know, like, okay, if you want to take it, we'll take it there. Like, I'll go ahead and act like it's serious. And I can be very respectful regardless of how ridiculous I think what you're saying is. Which this should just go to show that, because obviously you were being ridiculous.
Unfortunate. It was a while, though. That was fine.
Yeah, I wanted to let you cook because I just wanted to see how long you could go. And once you brought in the webway, I was like, okay, that's like anybody who has basic knowledge of Warhammer would have caught that. Like, they should have caught God Emperor, but only people who really know the lore know that how the tech priest made the God Emperor.
Correct. Exactly.
So
the thought process was to keep you going and get to the point of where that I was saying that these men are psychers and that they were sacrificing themselves to the God Emperor when he fell to Horus. Oh God!
Yeah, no, I knew that when you were talking about the shamanistic, that's why I started going about the whole, like, Indus Valley, like, how's this match up with reality? I was going to see how you tied that in, since that's not in the lore.
Yes. Well, anyway.
Ice keep dropping and the drink keep flowing. Try to brush it off, but it keep on going. All these scars can't help from showing. Whipping in the fun and the tears keep rolling.